Hey man,
Hey man, you fought a stupid for a wise man. The know it all like yourself. You should have known better, should have covered our tracks. Hey man, you fought a stupid for a wise man. Go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me.
Hey boy, double bass guitar.
Hey man.
You. Don't trip. Don't trip. Home. Sorry, my bad. All right, cool. Welcome to Don't Trip. Sorry, I just feel a bit energized. Maybe that's because I'm had dinner. And welcome back to another episode. This is a podcast for grown people, grown opinions. Sometimes we sound like we're arguing, but we're just passionate, real passionistas. All right. I just like to introduce myself. I am JR. And I'm passed to my left, who is man like Cairo. Big up
come
yourself.
on. Yes. Come on, people, don't trip. We're back for another episode. Get me.
And then last but not least, we got Tiny the G.
Yes, blessings, my brothers. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Don't trip.
But and then as you can see, Tiny is in a car, but he's not driving. All right, someone else is at the wheel. Someone else is at the wheel. All right, cool. So we promote safe driving. All right, like, subscribe, share.
I've got the whippers, you know.
Look at that whipping excursion. You know, love that.
Yes,
Everyone,
they got beefy as well.
Share, all right, share it with your nan if you need to. It don't matter. We just want people to keep viewing what we do. All right. So how we normally start the show, all right, is we get to know the score. All right. And normally what we do is a recap of the scores that have recently happened. So the last week of football. So last weekend, should I say. So let's have a look at what the scores was like. So we're going to skip the very first one. I don't need to discuss that. All right, cool. Like, you know, I face my fears. All right. So Aston Villa beat Arsenal again, which is a bit annoying.
Again, they're your bogey team right now, man. The Emery always does something for you lot.
Yes, very annoying, right? And the thing about that team, right? It's like because we've had loads of players linked with Arsenal at Aston Villa, and obviously their manager's ex-manager for Arsenal. Yeah. And it's like they get the fire in the belly when they play. Emery says some Spartan thing or some gladiator thing. This is Sparta. Good evening. This
good evening.
Sparta. Right? And he goes, Martinez is on it. Yeah. You know,
everyone's on it.
Watkins is like, you should have signed me on it.
Oh, right? Yeah. I forgot that. I forgot about that, you know.
Tielemans was linked with Arsenal. On it. Right? Do you know what I mean? Like all these, even Buendia. I remember when we were looking at getting Odegaard, we were linked with Buendia, and yeah, man, all them annoying. But anyway, we'll move past that. All right, so Bournemouth 0-0, another exciting game. All right, and which is a bit of a mad kind of transition away because after the Arsenal game, they were in the title race. All right. They were suggesting that actually, do you know what? Maybe they matured that performance, like they deserve more, etc. They definitely played better than Arsenal. But then after that, the results started to change. All right. Bring the result back up. Where you going? Bring it up.
I won't do that, fam.
No, we wanted to see it. I had to face my fears. Come on, bro.
Just obviously, I don't want to. Tiny's getting blocked by the scores and that. Innit? Get my guy.
Convene
But
on
yeah,
that, yeah.
yeah, man. But yeah, it's just we went unbeaten in November and then go into December and just get broke up. Like, it don't make no sense. Just like obviously it's a point. It's Bournemouth, but Bournemouth had a lot of players out. No Tyler Adams. Who else are they missing? They're missing a few players. I see them in the stands on the TV and that. But yeah, man, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. Like we could have been in it, but we done the exact same thing last season as well. It was like, yeah, you know what? If we win this, we can go top. And then next thing you know, we lost to Ipswich. We drew 0-0 with Everton. Like I was just like, okay, clearly not then. And then next thing you know, we were eighth. So hopefully by the end of December, it's not eighth for that, but they got come on, man, they got to sort themselves out. This can't keep happening. I know, obviously, Caicedo getting the red means that he can't play 3 games, which is a struggle. But then even in the Champions League yesterday, he was playing and we still lost. So yeah, man, they need to get over this December thing. They think it's holiday season for real.
They've already started the mulled wine, mad thing. All
Yeah.
right. So Everton 3-0 win, impressive win against Nottingham Forest.
Hmm.
Nottingham Forest feel like that team it's in transition, so they're gonna win some, they're gonna lose some, but I think they'll win enough to stay up, which is cool. Man City absolutely destroyed Sunderland, the team that people weren't too sure about. But if we think about Sunderland, most of their success has been at home. They really need to work on that away record for them. But Man City showed up and showing some, some heart of champions. Newcastle 2-1 to Burnley, kind of as expected, to be honest. Like they are not a good team, Burnley. Spurs 2-0 finally. All right. Thomas Frank is his old team, right? So he should know them quite well. 2-0. They didn't, from what I saw, they didn't play amazing for the first half, but they got the job done, and that's what they need. And then this super duper amazing game against the best team that ever lived. Half a billy transfer window and 3-3 against Leeds. Okay, cool. Now that was a controversial game for a couple of reasons, but I think the score was justified from my perspective. And then we move on to the last few games of that week. So we had Brighton 1-1. West Ham did get in front, and Brighton came back to get the draw. Fulham lost at home to Crystal Palace, London derby. They won't like that. They thought they were turning things around, but they're scoring, but they're conceding a lot. So we'll kind of watch out for what goes on with that manager, because it does always come to a point where you lose what's in the bank. And then Wolves, Man U. Were Man U amazing or were Wolves terrible? Tell us, Tiny.
To be fair, Wolves were Wolves in it. How they've been all season. Not really much to sing about. But in terms of performances, Man United side, we had a few standout performances. Mason Mount, I always slate him. I don't rate the guy at all. But I don't know, like when he was playing at Chelsea when Lampard was there, he
Yeah.
had some form that he was killing it. I've never seen it since. And I saw a bit of it yesterday, and on the weekend there. So standout performance from him. And the usual Bruno in it. Bruno does what he does. And Bruno does what he does. And yeah, but aside from that, typical Wolves performance, they know why they're where they are. And yeah, 3 points in it. Gotta enjoy
Yeah,
that.
it don't really matter anyway. You just have to score. Like you have to win, innit? That's the main thing. Whoever you're up against, you got to win. And what I saw an interesting stat: like Wolves are on the longest winless run from the start of the Premier League season. and well, they equaled it. And if they lose to Arsenal, they
Oh
will
my.
be the worst winner, and that's 17 games
No
winless,
wins.
right? 17
That's
games
crazy.
if they lose to Arsenal, and only Sheffield United beat that, and they're on 2 points, so that means they're on track to beat the Derby County record of the worst
That's
points
mad.
tally at the end of a season.
We thought Thing was bad last season, Southampton. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Terrible,
No wins, 2 points. Oh my lord.
The
terrible.
worst bit is they wasn't this bad. Like, how did they just get this bad?
They did say Cunha was carrying, and maybe they were right. Because that is ridiculous, bro.
I'm. I,
Madness.
I think the reality is right. Before we move on, I think the reality is that Wolves have been hanging in there because they've had a couple of players that have kind of held them together, whether it be Ruben
Yeah.
Neves, whether it be Matthias Nunes, whether it be Jota, not Jota, whether it be, sorry, my apologies, whether it be
Now Jota as
Joe,
well though.
Pedro Neto, yeah,
Yeah. Jota, Pedro Neto,
whether it be last season,
Cunha.
Cunha, right? Whoever it was, someone is holding them in. And when you lose them players enough, you either don't progress or you eventually digress, and they just regress and they keep going backwards. So it's about time, probably. Like we need the quality of the league to be higher, and they're a bit trash. But anyway, let's move on. Moving away from the Wolves, all right, and moving on to are you a sheep in Wolves' clothing? Arne Slot, right? So, what happened on the weekend was not only did Liverpool manage to draw very last minute to Leeds, um, they didn't bring on Salah. Now, what that's done is caused a massive, massive hoo ha about, first of all, what is going on with Liverpool. But his comments after was really the relationship between him and Arne Slot. Salah went as far and said that he's felt he's been thrown under the bus by some people and he didn't understand, but not being brought on. What would be interesting to understand is first things first, what are your thoughts on his comments? And then we can kind of look at whether the actions are justified.
The
So
the comments are mad because it's like it feels like it's just been growing and growing. I've spoke about a Curtis Jones interview the other day where he said, "Oh, when you just got sometimes you just got to do this and you got to fight." And I was thinking to myself, that kind of seems like a sliding at the manager. Like maybe not, even though he's trying not to. I was like, Then I'm thinking this now. This whole Salah thing's come out, and I'm like, this is crazy because the Salah, like him saying that he feels like he's been thrown under the bus. I kind of agree to him to an extent, with him to an extent, because other players are playing horribly and they ain't been taken out of the team. Konate has been, I'm sorry, he has been horrible. I said he was on my fraud watch from the start of the season. Yeah. And he is showing that, boy, Real Madrid, they needed to go to Specsavers because there was no way that they should be looking at a player like that at all. He was made to look better than what he was. He's having a shocking, shocking run. And it seems like, but he's playing every game. Like, Kirkes hasn't been good, but he's playing every game, even though Robbo's there to compete with him. But that hasn't been great, but obviously the captain, I don't really expect him to get some. But other players have been well below the level. Basically, the whole team has been well below the level. The only player that's actually been that can probably have their head held high is Szoboszlai. Other than that, the rest of them got, and maybe Ekatike at the start of the season, but even since then, he's been out of form. So I kind of get where he's coming from in terms of like now you've taken me out of the team, like you're trying to make a statement for what though? And then at the same time, like they paid you you on like 400 grand a week not to do some stripping. You're on 400 grand a week because they trusted you to go and do the business. Now, but then I go back to the other side and I think about it like, but then you pay this guy 400 grand pound a week to get you out of situations like this. So when you're drawing and losing games, even if you're trying to make a statement, you need to bring him on the pitch so he can score. Bring him on. So it's yeah. I don't know. I don't want to sit on the fence in it, but I really am torn. Think both of them are idiots in it. Let's just put it that way. Both of them stupid.
All right, Tiny, what do you think?
Personally, I don't think he was right to actually go to the media and do all of that. It's an in-house beef in it, so talk to the manager in it. You get me? Like, but as far as how he feels and how he kind of sees everything going, he's making a decision for January, in it. And I think him doing that's kind of a statement, as in AFCON soon reach. If you're not
Yeah.
giving me no game time, is it gonna be like this when I reach back? I might have to look at my options. You get me? So I think it was kind of that kind of thing. And managers do these things. It's like kind of like 10 with Ronaldo. You know them ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they gotta show their hand, but to the top dog in it. You know them ones. So where he's the big fish in the pond, they gotta make an example of kind of him. If you get me. And yeah, it's difficult, in it, management, bro. But for me, like you gotta keep that beef in house, like especially with the kind of peas that they're paying you. You get me? Like we can sit down and have a conversation in it. You're you're not a little man in it. You get me?
Yeah. But it seems like a very like every time he wants to say something, he does just go public. He done this last time with the when the contract negotiations weren't really there and that. It's like, oh, am I staying or not? And he said, like, oh well, whether it'll be here or elsewhere. Like it's like, raw, like, what are you trying to do
Mm.
here, blood? Obviously they paid you now in faith. You go, obviously you're having
But
a
like,
bad
but,
season that, but
but like in Slot's defense, yeah, like if you're not performing, like you're the guy that's known for scoring goals, isn't it? So
yeah,
if you're not performing, I got to do something to, you get me, change things
yeah,
or get goals, get more goals in the team. You know them ones. And if it's benching you to make you buck up your ideas and know like right, anyone can hold bench, innit? He's got to do what
yeah.
he thinks is right, innit? You get me?
Nah, but this is where I kind of I agree with it, and then but to a point because when you're losing games, yeah, and you're not even he's not even coming on. They're not even bringing him
No,
on.
but that's the example, innit? Like that's what, because bruv, sometimes you gotta take the L for the short term to make the long term better. Do you know them ones? And he's a new manager there, innit? Do you get me? It's not like Salah was doing all of this when he was there. He's new. Do you get me? So you still gotta make an impression with him, innit? And on that note, you gotta kind of have a balance. You get me?
Yeah,
So
But I think Salah's calculated, man. He's very calculated person. So I don't think it was a thing. I think even if they did give him a little 20, 30 minutes, he still would have said something, bro. He like that was the day, bro.
but I think we have to look at it from different perspectives. Like, so from my perspective, let's look at it in context, right? He's just come up, he's just finished the game. He's not being played, he's vexed, and someone's asked him a question, it's like, right, like basically, like, how do you feel? Like, what's going on? And he's like expressing how he feels. There could have been a different way he'd done that, a way that would be labeled as professional, but he didn't say anything that he didn't mean and he didn't feel. Right now, the context for me also is one. If we look at the top goal scorers for Liverpool right now, top goal contributors, right? He's having a poor season by his standards, right? But he's contributed basically as much as there's only like 9 people that have contributed more in the whole league, right? 9 people, right? Talking about goals and assists.
Yeah.
Top goal scorer at Liverpool is Ekitike with 5 and with 1 assist. He's
Yeah.
got 4 goals and 2 assists. Gakpo's
So he's
got
on
4 and 3,
6.
right? So
Yeah.
between Ekitike and him, they've got the same amount of goal contributions. They're not necessarily playing the same amount of time, but the position requires different things and maybe the expectations in them. Either way, there's so many players that have come in, they're not getting paid 400k, but we paid 40 million for you now. We paid 90 million for you now. We paid 130 million for you now. The pressure is on you, but because you're keeping quiet, no one's saying nothing. Now, the reason why Mo Salah's speaking up is because he has the right to speak up. He's done more for the club than Slot. He's done more for the club than Slot. So if someone is a bit like, do you know what? I was made promises. We don't know what those promises are. And I feel like I'm being thrown under the bus, right? When I'm not the worst player on the pitch. That's where I can understand where he's coming from. Me, if I'm like, actually, as a manager, I'll be vexed because I would prefer that actually, do you know what? We had this conversation behind closed door because now I feel like I need to defend myself. I feel like I need to be saying that, oh, you can't take me for a little man and sort of sit on the bench for longer. You know what I mean? But the best comment I've heard was from Steven Gerrard, right? Steven Gerrard made a very valid point. It's like, okay, cool. The things that I said, people shouldn't be saying these things, but we've all said it. I've did it. I've had a head loss. We've all done it, right? So the main thing is yeah, you should have done it, but why is he being spoken about in the way he's been spoken about? So for me, the next question is the way he's been spoken about justified, or should he have a little bit of grace?
It's difficult to say because I get both sides in terms of all right, cool. It was. I don't think anyone's saying he's not justified in what he said. I just think it's the way he done it that's everyone's issue. You just come out, especially after the draw, and was like, all right, cool. Me and him are beefing. Let me tell everyone why this is happening. And more time, he ain't been doing no interviews for time. And then all of a sudden, he hasn't even played in the game. So why they interviewing him? Because I've never seen that before. I've never seen a player be interviewed when they have not played. I've never seen that. I don't know about you lot, but I've never seen that happen before. So obviously the media are doing that thing where they can manipulate a situation, but at the end of the day, you should have just said no comment and kept it pushing. You get what I'm saying? And then beef the manager all you like. So I don't think it's unjustified. I just think whether he done it on purpose or not, whether his head was hot and it just had to or not, it was so bad timing. It's so bad timing.
So do you think that he deserved? So he got dropped against Inter, right? So he didn't travel with the squad to Inter. Do you think he deserved that? Do you think that was the right move?
But did he want to travel to Italy to sit on the bench again? I don't know. It might have been the best for both. And they won, so I guess it's just. But he didn't want to sit on that bench, which is why he feels like this. Which is why he's chatting shit like this. So
Mhm.
getting him out of the way might have been the best thing to do. And what did he do then? Post a picture on social media. Mama, don't post pictures like that. Do you get what I'm saying? It's too petty. This whole situation being petty, but it's so mad. But the only thing is that everyone's seeing it with their own eyes. It seems super toxic and super petty. Some mad breakup.
So
Yeah,
go on, what are you saying, Tiny?
yes. I fully get what you're saying, and yeah, I fully agree. It could just be one of them moments in it, frustration. And yeah, but the joys of being a professional footballer.
So, so, so what I want to dig deeper, right? In reference to this question, pause, right? The comments that are made towards him by other commentators, i.e., Jamie Carragher, Paul Merson, Paul Scholes, or whoever made these comments, even Thierry
Yeah,
Henry, right? They seem to lean to him and talk about him as if, like, and this is where I'm in defense of him, as if he is a robot. If you feel what you feel, think about it. He's been benched for 3 games, right? He came on in 2 of those games and didn't come on in 1, right?
yeah,
The your ego, right? The new reason you have an ego is because let's just check the stats. Mohamed Salah has scored 250 goals and 116 assists in 420 games, right? So that's 366 goal contributions for Liverpool in 420 games,
yeah,
right? After that, winning them 2 Premier Leagues, the Champions Leagues, right? And League Cup, FA Cup, winning them everything.
yeah.
After that, right? I'm in my final years. In my final years, do I want to be sitting on the bench? Can I afford to sit on the bench? Me personally, no. I don't deserve that. And the reality is if the rest of your team are performing high performers and then I'm slacking, then fair enough. The rest of my
Yeah,
team are the best player on the team is Szoboszlai, right? Other than that,
The
everyone is trash, bro.
yeah. But
So
even then,
how
even
the worst it is, yeah, is Salah's age as well, though, bro. Because like we know Salah, yeah, Salah always has this blip in form at some stage of the season. Still, always ends up being one of the um people fighting for the golden boot and that. But at his age now, his manager may be thinking on that
Mhm.
side that right, this might be your
time to
starting to
get him out of
decline,
here.
innit? You
Yeah,
get me? And that's why it's kind of a thin line. I know he keeps himself fit, all of that
What
stuff, no did he? But in terms of him personally,
please no.
he he keeps himself to a high standard, innit? And
Yeah.
maybe the
No,
manager's looking at like,
but that itself is throwing him under the bus. You're telling me that, rah, I've done this for the club for how many years? I have I'm out of form for a little bit, but generally I have blips in form, and I still
yeah.
finish one of the top goals, if not the top goal scorer. But you're trying to get rid of me because I'm old, and that's the way you throw me under the bus. That's throwing me under the bus. He's right. That's
It's
how.
bull.
That's how.
It's mad
football's a
though.
young
It's
man's game,
nah,
fam.
but JR said it earlier. Yeah, when you read the stats about the goal contributions. Yeah, I think the highest that was there was Gakpo with 7. He's got 6. So like he's. This is why Slot has to like have a serious thing. Because if your team's not playing the way you like it to play, you don't then take away, like your team's losing games. You don't then take away your second highest goal contributor. This is why he's done, because then you also said Ekitike's on 6. So he's taken number 2 and number 3 out of the team completely to
To
accommodate for
play.
some guys that aren't doing anything.
Come on, bro.
Like it's
Come
dumb. It don't make sense.
Come
It
on. And the thing
genuinely
is,
don't make
But
sense.
he's got to make his signings work in it because you spent all of this money on these players, so they've got to be doing something in it.
but you know what? My signings
Yeah.
might work, but if I lose my work. I am out of work because it doesn't matter. You'd be like,
A
bro,
lot of these managers are stubborn, though.
Vert scored 20 goals in a game. Isak scored 20 goals in a game, but I lost 20 games in a row. You're like, what the? My job is gone. I'm redundant. P45, they're handed. You know, it doesn't make a difference. The main thing is can you stay in a job long enough, right? By winning game by game. When you get game by game, nobody cares. Because you know what? At the start of the season, nobody cared that Liverpool were nicking games, you know. Thieves. Like
Yeah.
druggies in Tesco's. Thieves, right? Thieves games. No one cared. No one cared.
Yeah. They won 5 with late winners, didn't it? The first 5. Then
Bro,
they
no one
lost the next 5.
no one cared. But the thing is the reality is you just want to keep winning. It doesn't matter how you win, you just want to keep winning. So for me personally, if this person is my match winner, being the match winner for Liverpool last season, remember, he was so important to Liverpool, right? The amount of goals, the amount of things, get out of jails he scored for them. And then this season, you're dealing with me like I'm Harvey Elliott. I'm not Harvey Elliott, you know. Talk to me nice, you know. You see, you think about it, right? He's starting Gakpo all the time. He's starting Isak all the time. The people that come on and save your team or have done it in the past, Salah, Chiesa, their managers holding bench. Edgar TK held bench. What is
I
going
don't
on?
Yeah,
believe.
yeah, yeah.
I don't even know what I'm going with Chiesa because he always has like he either scores or creates problems for opposition team. I don't know why this guy don't get no game time. It's crazy to me.
It must be a contractual thing because there's no other reason. Like
Like
it's not just
if he pays a certain amount of minutes, he gets a bonus or something.
that's what it must be.
Yeah,
I blatantly think because remember they got him for Trump change. They got him for like 12 million, and you're like, rough. Like a few years ago, he was looking at 50 million, right? 12
Yeah,
million.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
There must be a contract that says, boy, if you finish a game, right, and your knee doesn't just implode, then we'll give you 500 grand. They didn't believe him. They didn't believe him. They said, nah, your knees mash up. No, I swear, I'm good. All right, cool. If you finish a game, 500 grand, right? And they just said, right, you're not going to finish it. You're never going to start a game. Just know that. That's what it's like. But that's what it must be. But I have a question. So do you think this has tarnished Salah's legacy at Liverpool? Like, do you think that, as an example, Liverpool finish the season with, they don't win the league, but they win the FA Cup. Salah gets 20 goals. Does he get a statue still?
Yeah, he has to. Has to. Like you said earlier, man, he's like one of the top goal scorers for the club ever.
I think he's
Like,
their third top,
yeah,
and
that's for a club
Ian
like
Rush played
Liverpool,
like
fam. That's mad.
and
Like,
Ian Rush played like 200 games more than him.
yeah.
Huh?
He's got like what four? Well, you said what do you have? 300 and something in 400 games, 360 in like 400
Yeah.
and something games. That's statue worthy in my opinion. And
Mhm,
obviously the manager on the other hand has been there 1 season, isn't it? So
mhm,
if he wants to beef him, then let him beef him, innit? Like not all the players and the manager's gonna get on, but when you're beefing the club legend that's been there for forever
mhm,
then like it shouldn't tarnish his legacy and he's making a point about that person in particular. He's not doing it about the club. If he's doing it about the club, like, oh fuck you lot because you've been doing this and you're trying to nah, he's saying me and the manager are not cool. Do you get me?
mhm.
He's promised me
Mm.
this, he's promised me that. He ain't done it. Because the thing,
No, but
it's mad though. It's mad because Arne
hey,
Slot's excuse for it, when they asked him, what not excuse, but his explanation was his attacking output is not outweighing his defensive liabilities. As that's a mad thing as well. He's saying, blood, you're not working for the team, blood.
But you know what
So
it is?
that's that's how Salah's always been though. Like the role that he's always played at Liverpool
yeah,
is you don't have to do that defensive side.
yeah,
So
but
it's
that's his
like the
point. That's
Aguero.
Slot's
It's like
point.
asking
no, but it's like the Aguero thing with Pep. Pep was the same with Aguero. You're not working hard enough, bro. You need to do more. And then Aguero had to adjust to it and started getting more game time in it. But there's always
But
gonna
it's
be
like, what's his name though? But That's the point, though. That's the point he's making. Salah hasn't had one of these seasons. He's been okay in maybe 1 or 2 seasons, but he's always banged like 20 something goals.
But
He's saying to him,
my issue
you're
with
not
the
doing that right
excuses.
now. He's saying for you to not defend, you need to bang bare goals, bruv.
No,
There's
but
no excuses here.
man's excuse doesn't make sense because what was the difference last season then?
He was banging goals. He said, if you're
Yeah,
not
but
banging
no, but
goals, you can't be in this team. That's what he's saying to him. He's saying, you are not working. You don't work hard enough. You
they're
don't
not just that
defend
goals.
at all. The whole point, I'm telling you, you can't defend. Or if you're going to be a prick and not defend, you better score a hat trick for me then, innit? And win us the game. That's basically what my man's saying.
Yeah,
And,
So
and, and if he
Salah,
ain't doing that, then he's going to see the bench.
so Salah's worst goal scoring season in the Prem was 18 goals,
And that's
right?
good.
Since he was at Liverpool. 18 goals. That was his
I,
worst goal.
I wish my striker could score 18 goals this season.
On a bad day.
Man's talking about 18 goals, and I'm like, yo, this is where it should be. And this is where I'm just like, you have to decide like what do you do. And the other thing to take into consideration is the system had Trent. The
Yeah.
system had Trent the whole time, right? And we've not had Trent. And now he doesn't have Trent. That's it. He doesn't have him.
And he had
and,
players that done
and
he had players that done his running.
bruv,
Hendo used to do his running.
Is it Robertson on the left?
Yeah.
He does that the Trent pass and all of that.
Hmm. But
He is
Robertson,
a business as well. He's still there,
yeah,
but he's
he's just not good at. He's just
with
not like him.
injuries and yeah, he's not that. But he had a spell where he was Mr. Consistent, bro.
Yeah, but the thing is he's aging, right? And he's just energy. I'm getting up, I'm getting down, getting up, but he's just lacking that quality that he used to have. Now,
Mm.
for me, I think the final point on Salah, right, is my issue with this whole thing is how how does he come back from this? Like, how do you decide that this is Salah? How do we give him the respect? Should the fans? I get the fans have the right to feel however they want to feel, but should the fans kind of take some emotion out and actually just look at the person that's in front of you? This is Salah, who's the reason you won everything you've won in the last 9 years. Like, or does he need to apologize to the fans and to the manager and to all these people? What do you think?
That's a tough one, man. Because it's basically making them have to choose. Because if, like, for example, yeah, let me put the case forward. If he comes back from AFCON and the fans start cheering his name and that, the board's gonna look at Slot and say, "Blood, what are you doing? You're upsetting the fans." But then if he comes back and the fans boo him, then they're gonna be like, "Well, we don't need him here, do we? Like, we're paying this guy 400 grand a week to get booed. Like, they don't even love him no more." It's mad. It's a mad situation. I don't even know how you get out of it because it's just, you know what it is? They got to do what Michael Keane and Idris Gana Gay did: get the boxing gloves out and just do a little spar and that. Yeah.
Well,
Because they have to bless it, but they have to do it in a way that's not like where people don't see it as like man animosity anymore. Because
well,
Yeah.
that's all I can see.
I don't think I can't see the fans turning on him. I just think it's a matter of where these ex-players and stuff are making their comments and throwing their little 2 pence in. I think a lot of the aggressive stuff towards what he's done in the past and before he joined Liverpool and all of that kind of stuff. I think that's all unnecessary. Like let's just talk about the here and now and what's going on with that, innit? We've all
Yeah,
seen what Salah done. Like international football is international football. I don't see like I'm gonna even break it even better. I don't see European international football any better than African international
Bro,
football.
you know,
So all of that stuff, not even yeah. So all of that, but I think in terms of Salah, I don't think he has to apologise to the fans because his comments weren't aimed at Liverpool as a club or at anything to do with like bad mouthing Liverpool or the fans or anything like that. It was just a
yeah,
matter of his situation with the manager, in it. And if there's any apologies to be made, it will be between him and the manager, in it. Whether he does it publicly or not because of what's been said, that's a
mm,
different story. But yeah, anything for me would have to be between them two. I think everything else is just opinions, in it. We're all gonna have opinions on what's been said and what's been done. But in the end of it, I don't think he has to apologize to any of the club or fans or any of that side.
yeah.
boy, not apology.
But it's very difficult to come. It's very difficult to reach back after something like this, though, especially going public and then leaving like 2 weeks later to go on international duty.
I think that the anybody can come back from like a bad moment. Like I think you just need to do something to justify it. You need to be like, I don't think there's many moments you can't like literally, I'm an Arsenal fan. Shaka threw the Arsenal
That's
shirt
what
on the
I was
floor,
thinking. That was
right?
exactly what I
Our
was thinking.
captain
No,
threw it on the
but bro,
floor.
you Arsenal fans are emotional, bro.
And
You
they
lot are
swore,
different.
swore at our
Different type of
fans.
emotional, bro. I
Right?
feel you lot draw a game and man turn it into some whole.
Listen, man
Yeah,
like Enzo Fernandez was caught on the bus saying racist stuff, but you know what? He was forgiven. Okay, he was forgiven. There's people out there. Look, Kurt Zuma kicked the cat, right? And for a while he wasn't. No, he's forgiven, right? The thing
some
is
players, some
like
players don't get forgiven though.
you see, Salah. I think, and in closing, I think one of the things is you know personally, and I know this is controversial. I don't know if we want to say it, but I'm going to say it, right? Is I think there's an element of who is saying it, right?
Yeah,
Whoever is saying it is going to be slightly different, right? And that might be, the fact that you are older. It might be the fact that you're North African, brother. It might be the fact you're a Muslim. It might be the fact that you are paid a lot of money. It might be the fact that you were a superstar before and whatever. There's going to be different factors. But I think all of those factors combined are like why you're saying just shut up and get on. Whereas if someone was younger, they'll be talked about and talked to differently, right?
yeah,
I think that's the reality. So for me, I think when certain people like Jamie Carragher, all right, get on stage and start chatting, right? He always talks from a position of hate. Like it's like
yeah.
you
He
think
does. Yeah, he does that a lot.
Hater,
we have whatever it
just a
is.
hater.
Like it's mad. Like chill, bro. Like why are you so angry? Like he and I think that doesn't help. I think because he's a very important voice in football, not because he is the most respected footballer, but because he's such a household name when it comes to commentary on football now. So I think he's an important voice, and then other people kind of might follow suit. Um, but I think narratives are very important. Like, and I don't want the narrative to get lost. This is a player who's upset. He got benched and then didn't get to come on, and especially in a game where he's probably thinking, I can score against these guys. Like I can make the difference, and I've done this many, many, many times before. Right? I can do this. and then to feel like there's a personal thing going on here with him and Slot, and that's why he feels like, I'm being thrown under the bus or whatever, because why am I not even getting on? Like, that's a bit mad. And then, now you're being attacked, and you dropped out of the squad against Inter, and yes, they won, but they were lucky. That penalty was not a penalty. That penalty was not a penalty. Like, they were very lucky to win that, right? Like,
No, never a penalty.
But the thing is that's what I'm saying. They weren't doing it convincingly, and that's a common theme throughout the season. So how about we say, look, if this is about winning, cool, let's get our best players on the pitch. Let's get the best connections on the pitch going. Wirtz has been given a lot of time, and he's been playing decent, scoring, not assisting. But you just keep letting him play. Keep letting him play.
Yeah, but that's what he said, isn't it? Man's got the award for Mayor running, isn't it? Mayor
That's
running
what I'm
award.
saying.
But obviously
saying.
Salah ain't got that
Hard
award.
work
He's got the opposite award. Salah's got the chill out
Salah,
award.
no move. Salah, no move.
Man's got the hard work award, I'm
Hard worker.
Look, Adrian Bell 3376, right? You know what Nokia that is, so I don't know why you're bringing that up, right? Right? Saying we're hating. We're not hating. We're not hating at all, because Wirtz is doing absolutely nothing. He's just doing
He's an
nothing.
athlete. He's an athlete.
What's that?
He's an athlete.
That's it. He's the top lad. You know what? He works hard though. He don't score, but he works hard. I'm not gonna lie. He does a job. Look how many kilometers he's run. He's run a lot of kilometers. He's done a job. Like, mate, I'm telling you, he's done a job. Well done, workhorse. Workhorse. That's what they should be calling him.
It's a
Workhorse.
word source.
But yeah, nah. But anyway, in closing, I personally think that Liverpool should treat him as he is. If it's a momentary blip, and if you think about his track record, the last time he spoke out wasn't a negative thing, but he's like, look, I want to sign. I just need the FSG to kind of, do a good deal, and I'll sign.
He got what he wanted.
Yeah, but that's the last time he spoke out. Other than that, he doesn't really speak out. So his track record says you need to allow him. You need to allow him. Like, allow him. Just say, look, this was a blip in a moment, in a Mo's moment, right? But actually, we know he's a respectful guy. We know what he's done. He's Mr. Liverpool at the moment. We move on. And just like that, we move on.
Yeah.
Fraud watch.
Here we go.
Stop it! Cut it out!
Fraud Watch.
Cool. All right. So Fraud Watch. This is where we do inspections. All right, of diligent inspections of people who pretend to be good but are fraudulent and are not good. All right, people that we think are frauds. They're fooling everyone, and they shouldn't be allowed to go on fooling everyone. This is fraudulent marketing, and we want to put it to a stop. So,
the 419ers of football.
The 419ers.
Oh.
F-boys. Who is your Fraud Watch nominee this week? Tiny.
Well, you know what? I found someone that wasn't really on my radar. I was just having a butchers at some stats and stuff, and I noticed that Alanga has no goals and no assists on that. What's this guy doing? After the last few seasons he had, I thought he was actually turning into a player, and he was getting goals, he was getting assists, and I can't see none of that at Newcastle. And Newcastle's been like the actual decent team the last few seasons and that. So
Yeah.
Alanga, got my eye on you now.
Yes.
Fairs. Fair
Okay.
enough.
And man, like, who is your fraud watch for the week, Mr.
Ah,
Milo?
obviously, really and truly is Slot in it, but I just give that guy a break. He needs a break in it. So obviously, man's gonna switch it to the other bold slaphead, Maresca, man. You can't do this 2 Decembers in a row. You can't do this 2 Decembers in a row, bro. Please. We were so close. Like, man, we were talking about when we played Arsenal. It was like if we beat Barca, if we beat Arsenal, and then Arsenal lose a game, we could be within 2 points. And City went and done their job, and that's why they're within 2 points. And we did not. And that's why we're still, I think, 6 points back. So yeah, Boldy, Killimanstrom. That is it's him today, Boldy.
Boldly,
Because
boldly.
yeah, one of them in it. Really, obviously, it could easily go to Konate as well. And but I'm just gonna stay off Liverpool for a little bit. But has to be Maresca, man. We gotta start finding a way to get past these teams. Honestly,
Okay. Cool. Um, so I kind of battled with who my fraud watch would be, because I was a bit like, I want to put Jokeres in there. I've spoken about him before. Um,
I feel that it's a recurring fraud.
like I'm
Yeah.
like, it's getting on. Like, and the reason why
Boy, robot.
I'm going with Jokeres because to the pitch, and now I'm just like, oh my days, like, do I prefer Marino or do I prefer Jokeres? Like, and I feel like Jokeres can only play well with like certain players and at certain time against certain teams, and I'm like, nah, that doesn't fill me with confidence. Like, what is that? Like, and the worst thing is Arsenal. I don't know if anybody knew, but Arsenal just won against Club Brugge 3-0. So that means we have a perfect record in the Champions League. And Victor Gyökeres played, he started and didn't score. Like, and from what I understand, Gabby Jesus had better chances in 30 minutes than Gyökeres in 62 minutes. So he is Victor Flopperez is what man's gonna be calling him
Ah.
unless he starts scoring. Like, and I don't care. Even in the league, I'll be like, yeah, it's a bit of a waste of money because if I don't feel like he contributed what he needed to, then what's the point? What is the point? But yeah, Victor Gyökeres is my forward watch for the week.
Fair enough. I wasn't expecting that one still.
Nah, he's done. He's done in my books. So Adrian Bell 3376. That is that a chatbot. We need to delete that chatbot. I don't like how that person did, if we wonder what, get out of here, man. Yeah, that's a chatbot. Ignore that comment. So anyway, moving on to the final part of the show. So the winners of the week. So this is a part of the show where we normally discuss winners. If we really feel we need to, we might discuss a loser, but we're going to finish on a high and focus on the winners. So who are the winners of the week for you guys? We'll start with Cairo this time.
My winners of the week. Not only did they do something very important and take Arsenal down a peg, but from where they started the season, Villa have somehow they couldn't score a goal for like 4 or 5 games at the start of the season. Now all of a sudden they're like third. So I didn't even realize they just quietly crept up the table until they literally reached the summit. they had to play Arsenal, which is obviously not an easy game, and they won, which was needed because people was getting too uppity and that. So big up Villa. I don't know how they got from where they were in the relegation zone to third, but it was a shock to me. That's why they definitely got to be my winners of the week for this week. 100%.
Anyway, moving on. Tiny.
I can't lie. Seeing Crystal Palace in the top 4 is mad. I gotta give them my winners of the week because yeah, they're doing madness and they're in Europe as well. So big up to them. My winners of the week. Tucked in Fulham on the weekend.
Cool. My winners of the week are Manchester City. The reason being is because one, they are second in the league, and I kind of forgot about them. I kind of thought they're not clicking. Now it's going to be a few games they're falling off, and they're not necessarily playing amazing, but they're getting the points, right? Obviously, they beat Fulham 5-4, which was wild because it was 5-1 at halftime. Early second half was 5-1, and the game's done. Like, how does it get to 5-4? Madness. And then they won their last game against Sunderland 3-0, which was convincing.
And they just beat Real Madrid.
They just beat Real Madrid. Is Xavi Alonso a fraud? Maybe we'll discuss that next week. But they beat them at the Bernabeu 2-1. So they got the job done. So I've got to give it to them. I've got to pick them up. And yeah, they are my winners of the week. Brilliant. Well, that is it, man. Brings it to the end of the show. And we just want to say thank you to everyone. We want to thank you, Tiny, for driving without driving. We appreciate that. safe driving there. We want to thank Cairo because he got a fresh trim and he keeps stroking that beard.
You know,
it ain't really a beard. I don't know what that is. It's just fluff. Like, is that like a spray got there? But anyway, and then would have thanked anybody that was listening in. So the chatbot, Adrian Bell 3376, big up for listening in. Beefy, big up, one of the regulars, big up all of the man them, and big up anyone who likes, shares, and subscribes. You know, one day we will remember you and we will buy you a beer. All right, not a brandy. That's a bit too much. Just a beer, okay? But pick you up.
Don't trip to squeeze in like a Martell or something. Like a Martell.
Maybe like a Guinness. I'll get you a Guinness. I don't know about a Martell still. Or if you go to Simmons on Monday to Thursday, it's happy hour, so you try that.
Turtle Bay 2 for 1.
Turtle Bay 2 for 1. Yes. Be at 1. Big up. Yeah, they're not sponsors of the show, but they should be.
Anyway. Yes.
Like, share, subscribe. Don't trip on your way out. Bless up. See you in a bit.
3-5 double bass recap.